Hey everybody, just wanted to make a quick video about what musicians and performers are going through out here with this virus outbreak and so much uncertainty and all the cancellations and everything that is starting to affect our society as a whole, what this means for musicians and performers so that you can kind of understand the full scope of it. And we'll talk about some things that you can do if you have the means to support artists through this tough time. So I'm going to start by reading a couple of posts from Facebook that really made me think and started to make me realize the full extent of what's going on for performers and people that rely on large gatherings to make their income, in some cases all of their income. So here's one post from somebody that is a regular touring musician and educator that goes all over the country and the world to make their living. The domino effect of Corona has taken a huge toll on my upcoming freelance engagements, which is going to seriously affect my income until this whole thing gets under control. I'm not alone. I know many of my friends are in the same boat, but it's been a really rough day and I'm at my wit's end. Here's another one, largely in the same boat. Feeling emotional today, having lost all my income, I sing full time, in one crazy week, and worried about everyone's health and happiness. Like all musicians, we are instantly out of work, and the ripple effects will take our industry a long time to recover. All industries will suffer, especially the entertainment, travel, restaurants, etc. The silver lining, we musicians can all write, study, practice, get closer to our families, and when we do resume gigs, we'll be better than ever. Now that's a musician right there for you, somebody who's very resilient and sees the silver lining in everything. Just one more excerpt for you. Creative musicians are in a different boat. There are not going to be twice as many club gigs, festivals, and concerts in the future to make up for the canceled performances now. Also, depending on the length and severity of the pandemic, some venues may go out of business so that, even in the future, there could be fewer opportunities. For the musicians ourselves, many of the currently described financial actions by the government, reduction in payroll tax, 2 weeks paid sick leave, are not helpful at all. And that last post is particularly important for musicians and performers. The nature of our work is that we are in large groups. You need an audience to play to in order to make any money off of that performance. Now, I know a lot of other people are in the same boat, but my calendar has been decimated. Everything for at least about the next month and a half has been called off. Now, that equates to a lot of lost income. And the scary part is I don't rely on performing for 100% of my income. For a lot of touring musicians out there that actually make a living just playing, they have lost 100% of their income. Try thinking about that for a second. And here's the thing that's different about this line of work than the line of work that a lot of you might be in. There is no paid sick leave. If you do not show up and play that gig, you do not get paid. There is no salary. It is engagement by engagement. You get the check after you play that engagement. And the toughest part is nobody knows when this will end, right? We do not know when things are going to get back to normal, which makes it even more scary because you don't know how to plan for lost income when you have no idea how long you're losing your income for. Now, the presumed government assistance is going to be great for so many people in our economy, but for performers, it largely doesn't matter. A reduction in the payroll tax does not matter for performing musicians. Paid sick leave does not matter for us. We do not have one employer that is going to pay for our sick leave. So I think you'll agree that that is pretty frightening for a lot of us out there that rely on performing in large groups of people to make an income. So let's shift into maybe what you can do to support the musicians and the artists and the creators in your life that you care about. Now, it's important to realize that I understand the economic pain is going to go a lot further than just this industry. This is the industry I'm in. These are my people. I feel the need to talk about them. But I understand that a lot of you out there, even if you're not an artist or a musician, are going to be going through really tough times. So don't think that I'm talking to anybody that doesn't have the means to support these artists and musicians. But if you do have the means of supporting some of these people, you could do several things to make sure that the pain is not felt as much as it could be. So the first thing you could do, you can buy records. Remember when we used to do that? Remember when we actually used to buy our music and not stream it for a flat fee every month? Most musicians, even if they are on Spotify, also have records for sale on their website, both physical and digital. Go out and buy these records. No musician that I know of, and even some of the biggest musicians in the world, are not going to live off of that streaming income, that 0.00001 of a penny every time you listen to one of their tracks. Go out and buy some music. Go on websites like Bandcamp, find your favorite musician, go to their website, buy a copy of their record. Now, the second thing you can do, and this is especially true in the jazz industry, you can go out and buy educational materials from people. A lot of people are selling courses or ebooks or PDFs on their website. You can go out, purchase some of those. Hey, you know what? This is a great time to sit at home and practice, right? Go out and get some new educational materials. That helps the musicians directly. Another thing that you could do that has to do with education and musicians who also teach, you can call up one of your favorite musicians and get a Skype lesson from them. A lot of our lessons are going to be moving online. As somebody who does online lessons on a regular basis, even before this was happening, it's a great way to learn. Of course, nothing can replace sitting in a room with somebody, but this is a great option for when we're all stuck at home for the foreseeable future. A lot of musicians and creators have Patreons these days. Go to their Patreons, buy some stuff, sign up for a monthly donation. Anything you can do helps a lot to replace that lost income. Another thing you can do to support musicians, I have a feeling we're going to start seeing a lot of streamed performances out there on social media. So keep your ears open for some of your favorite ensembles and bands and groups that are going to be starting to do these live stream performances. Tune in and donate to them. That's going to be fantastic. And that has the potential to replace some of that lost gig income from so many groups and individuals out there. Now, there are also some resources for musicians out there. I know largely I'm targeting this towards people who consume artists' work, but if you are a musician watching this, please check below the video for a link to a great website that's going to point you in all sorts of directions to maybe help you sort this out a little bit, get a little bit of clarity, and explore your options. So if you're somebody that has the financial means and your situation is not changing, try to think about how much you spend on entertainment in a month, how much of your money actually goes to musicians and establishments like this, and try to spend that same amount. If nothing is changing for you, you're working from home, everything is pretty solid, try to spend that same amount, but do it online. Spread some of that love around to your musician friends and the people that you really enjoy what they're putting out into the world. So I'm going to put below this video some of my links to some of my educational materials, to some of the records that I've played on with some of these bands that I play with on a regular basis. And if you have it in your heart and you have the means, please go out, buy some of that stuff. We really, really appreciate it, and we thank you big time from the bottom of our hearts. Now, of course, the most important thing in this time is that we look out for each other. So I hope all of you are staying healthy out there. Make sure you follow some of these guidelines. I understand that this is all for a very good reason, and I do not doubt that any of these things that we're doing right now are going to make things easier in the future. I just wanted to point out some of these things that us musicians are thinking about at this very, very different time than any of us have ever experienced. So I hope you're having a good day with this situation. I hope you're making the best of whatever situation you find yourself in, and really stay healthy out there, people. Much love to all of you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.